Genshin Impact Characters, as the 7 deadly sins. Today, we're going to explore the characters, through the lens of the 7 deadly sins. We will be examining the game's characters, and assigning one of them to the 7 sins, depending on who would fit the category the most, exploring how their personalities, behaviors, and stories, align with each sin. So join me, as I once again delve into the deep world of Genshin Impact. Sloth. Venti, the Bard of Mondstadt, and the Anemo Archon, is a known figure among its citizens, renowned for his relaxed demeanor, and passion for music and wine. However, when considering his personality traits, within the framework of the 7 deadly sins, it becomes clear that Venti embodies sloth. Sloth is defined by a lack of motivation or energy, and Venti often displays this attribute by favoring rest and leisure over actively pursuing his objectives. Venti is often seen lounging around in taverns, drinking wine, or resting near a forest, enjoying the breeze, and playing music on his lyre. He avoids serious matters and responsibilities, whenever possible, preferring to let others handle them. As shown by him stepping down, as the ruler or Archon of Mondstadt, and letting the people in the nation rule, and live freely. His own familiars, and even his pet dragon Storm Terror, even calls him out on never doing any real work. Additionally, Venti appears to be disinterested, and detached from the political and social concerns of Teyvat, prioritizing his own comfort and satisfaction instead. He very much lives in the moment. This absence of drive and initiative can be seen as a manifestation of the sin of sloth. Venti's carefree and easygoing persona reflect his beliefs of freedom, but his actions and demeanor also suggest a link to the sin of sloth. Pride. Childe, also known as Ajax, was a formidable opponent of the Traveler, a skilled fighter who relishes the excitement of battle. Upon closer inspection of his personality traits, it is apparent that Childe embodies the sin of pride. Pride is characterized by an excessive belief in one's abilities, and Childe has displayed this trait multiple times in the past. He continually seeks out new challenges to prove his worth. He is known to be pretty arrogant, frequently boasting about his strength and skills in combat, and he's not above underestimating his opponents. Childe is a proficient fighter, and can handle many weapons effectively, like swords and spears. However, his preference for the bow, even though it is his least skilled weapon, implies that he may overestimate his abilities. This overestimation is typical of pride, as it can make one believe that they are invincible. Moreover, Childe's determination to use his least skilled weapon in combat may be a way for him to demonstrate his superiority over his enemies. He may view it as a challenge to himself to defeat his opponents, using a weapon he is not as skilled with, displaying his combat mastery, and reinforcing his sense of pride. Childe also desires power and recognition, striving to establish his dominance over others. This is evident in his journey of being a harbinger, the most powerful group of people in Teyvat, and his ambition of being at the top. Despite his reputation as a skilled warrior, Childe's actions and personality traits reveal a deeper connection to the sin of pride. Wrath. Xiao, a strong adeptus in Yaksha, can be associated with the sin of wrath. Wrath is characterized by feelings of intense anger and a desire for vengeance, and this trait can be seen in Xiao's backstory and actions. He is renowned for his destructive power and unrestrained fury, even among the adeptus. Despite his usual calm demeanor, he can become incredibly wrathful if he detects a threat to his friends or Li Wei's peace. Xiao's story reveals that he was once a powerful Yaksha who was tasked with protecting Li Wei from demons and other malevolent creatures. He took his duty seriously, and was willing to use any means necessary to protect the people of Li Wei and restore the peace, even if it meant resorting to violence and destruction. Concerning his personality, Xiao can be extremely stubborn and resolute in his quest for justice. He is also tormented by his past actions, known as karma, and feels deep-seated remorse for the damage he has caused in the past. This sense of guilt and anger may sometimes cause him to lash out at others, and can be what fuels his anger and desire for vengeance. Xiao's karma, therefore, can manifest as wrath, as his past actions, and the weight of his responsibilities, continue to influence his behavior and motivations, till this day. He struggles with the consequences of his past actions, and the desire to protect those he cares about, which can lead to explosive outbursts of anger, and a single-minded focus on his mission, wrath. While he may not always act on his anger, his rage and desire for vengeance are present beneath the surface, making me pick him as the candidate for the sin of wrath. Envy. Albedo, the Knights of Favonia's chief alchemist, and is also a synthetic human made by gold, an attribute that could embody the sin of envy. Let me explain. Technically, it should be the prototype Albedo who should be in the list, as he's the one who's actually in an envious position, trying to replace the perfect one. However, Albedo said it himself, that if he was in the prototype's position, and the roles were reversed, he too would have done the same, and have the same feelings, so there's still some envy in him, just not present, because he's the one in the advantageous position. So when I'm talking about Albedo, I'm talking as if he was the prototype. Albedo's envy is focused on his twin brother, who he sees as a perfect version of himself. Although they share the same talents and abilities, I assume, as they are made by the same creator, Albedo feels inadequate, and desires to surpass his brother. He wants to replace him as the real one, and be the perfect one, in order to prove his superiority. This displays envy, but only because of the complicated situation that Gold has put them through, where the other creation would be envious of the one that Gold deemed perfect, making it want to replace them. Greed. Dory is a merchant who is absolutely obsessed with Mora, and is constantly looking for ways to increase her wealth. Her main goal in life, or her ambition, is to acquire as much Mora as possible, and she will go to great lengths to achieve this. To be fair, it stems from a sad reason, but she has gone completely over the top. She is willing to sell any product, at any price, as long as it benefits her, and gives Mora. Sometimes even selling products that could potentially be harmful, like knowledge capsules. She is also known to be ruthless in business, often taking advantage of others, in order to secure a deal. She hates sharing the market with other merchants. If she's getting Mora, she wants it all. Or as a lion's share, as she calls it. Ultimately, Dory's unquenchable thirst for Mora, and her willingness to do whatever it takes to acquire it, are traits that align with the sin of greed. Now, for the other two remaining sins, gluttony and lust, I really couldn't find a character that could represent these two sins. So, just remember that even I disagree with the characters I chose. Gluttony. Xiangling, the renowned chef and restaurant owner in Li Wei, who really doesn't attribute gluttony, but it's the best I could come up with. She frequently indulges in food, and is always trying out new recipes, often without any restraint. Her passion for food is so strong that she takes risks to acquire new rare and exotic ingredients, even going to dangerous places and fighting powerful creatures just for meat. Even with her talent in cooking, she is never satisfied, and is always in search of new flavors and culinary experiences that she's always out gathering. Xiangling's very strong appetite, though the food she eats is sometimes weird, and her desire to satisfy it, are examples of the sin of gluttony. And for our last sin, lust. Lisa is a librarian at the Knights of Favonius, and used to be a scholar at the Sumeru Academia. My only reason for this is that she's sometimes flirty with the traveler. That's it. I don't think she's actually interested in him though, and there's no other sign or justification of her showing this sin. Like I said, I can't really find anyone for this category, which is likely a good thing. Oh, and I guess you can count Lisa's climbing voice lines. Anyways, that is what I think of the Genshin Impact characters as the 7 deadly sins. How would you place them? Do you think a different character is more suited for that category? Let me know in the comments below. As always, this is just for fun, and that the characters don't purely have those sins. The characters of Genshin Impact are complex and interesting, and aren't just represented by the 7 sins. It's just that I noticed some have some correlation through their lore, and decided to make a list. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe and like if you ended up enjoying this video, and make sure to put your thoughts in the comments on what you think of it. Bye.